Hello, my name's Dean Kelly. We're here in Cronulla today and we're looking at country, which is very important to our existence as human beings, but also looking at country and how it is about well-being. My old people lived here for a long time. I don't like to put dates on their occupation of this area, but they were here for thousands of years. And they were very patient people, they were very observant people, but they're very fit and well within themselves. And that was because of their environment, the environment they lived in, and how they looked after it. They knew that by destroying things in country, they were destroying themselves. So they always lived in the present and only lived one day at a time, but also respected the past, where they came from, and looked at that future to see where they were going, but always lived in the present. As a cultural man, I'm a Yuin, Walbunja, Duriga, Garanji, Waw and Yampa man. And we're here in this beautiful park at Cronulla, and on a beautiful day, and we're here to talk about country and how country is a big part of our well-being. We can get our well-being from country just by being there. We don't have to do anything other than just sit on country, and it'll make us feel good. But there's other things we can do. We can walk on country, which is good for our health and our well-being, but we can also observe country and look at the messages that country has given to us. The old people say they were here since first sunrise, and today is another one of those sunrises. Today for me is the first day of my life for the rest of my life. So I'm only going to live for today. I'm not going to worry about what happened yesterday, because that's the past. It's where I get my strength, it's where I come from, and then if I look on the other side of that, the future, I'm not going to worry about that either, because I'm here now, and that's what is important. So one day at a time, like my old people, and I'm going to try and live, or I hope to live, till I'm 100 years of age. And the only way I can convince myself to do that is to live one day at a time. So today, I'm one day closer to 100 years old. Country speaks to us all the time. Country is not just about land, it's about everything that's part of it. Plants, animals, waters, rocks, it's all part of country. And my old teacher talks about drinking the same water, breathing the same air, walking the same land, because there is only one Mother Earth that we know of. There are other things out there that my old people looked at out in the what they call the universe, but it's all connected to here. Even when we look at the sun and grandfather's sun, because we like to go out on a winter's day and get that warmth from the sun and harness that energy, whether it's through solar power or through our bodies. And then we can see what we're doing because of grandfather's light. But you know, this is all part of being good, feeling good and staying good. But we're coming out of the hot period now, so what people will call summer, and we're coming into a colder time. And what that means is plants and animals will behave differently. We'll start to see what we call language without voice, the text in the land. So a bird will behave differently. A plant will start to show other colours. We see the colours of autumn, from plants that have been brought here from other countries or other places, but it's still part of the bigger world. One of the plants that we'll start to see soon is a wattle, and that goes it changes into all yellow. The little flowers will be all yellow, and what that signifies for us as Aboriginal people on the east coast is that the whales are coming, and the whales are starting their annual journey of survival. See, no one rings the whale up and tells them it's time to move. It's built in to them. They've got their own maps and own sensors to tell them, okay, we got to go back to where we come from, back to our homes where we were born. So them whales will travel, and while they're traveling, they'll sing the whole coast, and they'll sing to their young that get born on the way, tell them about the safe areas, the areas not to go, the area where there's food, and tell them their story of where they came from, so that when they grow up, they can tell their next generations and continue that legacy, that journey. So country is not only on the land, as I said earlier, it's the waters, it's the trees, it's all, down to the littlest thing in the world, like a little insect. It's so important to our survival. And the only way we can see this in today's busy world is to slow down and watch. And that takes a bit of time. And because money's became part of our lives now, that we need money to survive. See, my old people didn't have a system of money like that. Everything they had, and it's no different from today, came from the land and goes back to the land, including us as humans. So in my culture, my belief is I'm born from the land, and then I'll go back. And today they call that a cemetery. But when we look at an old tree and we watch it grow from a little seed to an old tree, and then a branch falls off, and then that branch slowly goes back into the ground, we can't look at that as that tree is dead, because what it's doing for that land in putting back that energy and breaking down, it's growing the next generation, because eventually that branch or that old tree will become part of the soil, which will grow the next little seed and the future generations. So for you and your well-being, this is the hospital. Country is hospital, country is the medical centre. You've got to go and sit in a room. Why not go and sit on country and let it heal you? Healing is a big part of accepting what we've been through, what's happened to us, but also understanding that we can only live in the present. Something that happened 5 minutes ago is something we can't usually change. But what we can do is look at where we're at and then make the right decisions so that we can create a better future for ourselves and others. But what comes first in that conversation is looking after oneself. Looking after ourselves, instead of putting energy into a lot of other things, making sure we're right, so that then we can become aware, and then we can look after the important things in our lives. See, the most important thing to me in this world, bearing that I have a beautiful wife and 5 children, is me, self. Because if I'm not right, I can't be responsible for those other important things, such as my family. Today for me is a day of gratitude. I'm grateful that I'm here, that I have air in my lungs, that I have a beating heart, that I'm living. And that's all that matters to me. Whatever the day brings, it will bring. I have no plans, but I'm here, and I know I'm here. I'm in the now. I'm living. Thank you. Okay.